I've had a really busy past couple of weeks, from tackling several home projects to helping our friend move out and settle into her own place. So now I'm spending the next couple of days resetting our home and getting everything back in order. So once I got a load of laundry done, I wanted to go ahead and first focus on the kitchen. Thankfully, throughout all my busyness, I was still able to stay on top of all of my daily cleaning, which is basically, just the dishes, the counters, doing a quick tidy around the house, a load of laundry, and the floors, which is a lot of what you see me starting out with here today. But I just want to really make sure that I stay on top of it because consistency is really key when it comes to your daily cleaning. When you stay on top of it every day, you never really get backed up and you're able to do it really quickly. So that's just something that I really like to stick with and make sure that I do above all else. But even though I was able to stay on top of my daily cleaning, my weekly cleaning and the more in-depth cleaning kind of took a back seat. So today I'm really wanting to focus on cleaning my stovetop, resetting my fridge now that we have more of it available to us. Our bathroom and sink area in our master bedroom really needs some attention. I also have an interesting pantry update for you all. And then towards the end of the video, I do want to go ahead and reset my office because that is where my friend was staying when she was with us. So now I get to put my office back together. Needless to say, I have plenty of cleaning and homemaking motivation for you all wrapped in today's video. And for all of my cleaning today, I'm going to be using my caddy that I bought a few weeks ago. And what I'll be using today are some microfiber cloths, this spray bottle that has some Odoban and mixed with water in it, also a scrub mommy, some barkeeper's friend, and this foaming glass cleaner that I actually pick up from the dollar store that I really, really like. Now, I would like to say that although this video is somewhat celebratory because we're kind of getting our house back, I do not want that to come across as mean in any way. Like, I don't really want to be so excited that, we no longer have my friend living with us, because she really was not terrible to live with. She was very considerate and she tried to make it feel as though she wasn't there, which we didn't tell her that she needed to do. She just wanted to do that because she understands how introverted both me and my husband really are. So we really have no complaints about her being with us. So even though I'm sharing this story with you all and I'm just so relieved and happy to really get my space back, I don't at the same time want it to sound bad or mean in any way. I hope that makes sense. And while this whole experience was definitely a blessing to her, it was also a big blessing to me. Throughout the time that she was with us, I was definitely able to experience and learn a lot of things, but there are two main things that really stuck out to me. But before I get into all of that, I do want to address the fact that while cleaning the stove, yes, I definitely used way too much dish soap. I actually used dish soap on my stove the last time I cleaned it, and it worked out really, really well. I know dish soap is a good degreaser, so I figured it would be a good option to use on my stove. I think it's also because I recently changed my dish soap. I switched over from, I can't remember what brand I was using before, over to Dawn. I did use a small amount, but apparently not small enough. Now, I didn't show the complete process of getting my stovetop clean, but it did take me several rinses with the rag and water. But I was able to get it done, and I think it turned out really well. Which also makes me think of something else I see a lot online, which is people using the Dawn Power Wash, I believe it's called, to clean their stovetops. And they're basically spraying it straight on their stovetop, giving it a quick scrub and wiping it up. I don't know if it's just their editing, like maybe they actually go back and rinse it off with a clean damp cloth, or do they just straight wipe it up? Because in my mind, I'm thinking like, doesn't that leave behind soap on your stovetop? Or whatever you're cleaning. And I've always been curious about that ever since I started seeing it so much online. So let me know what you think about all that down below. Now, if you've been here for a while, you'll know that I like to approach a space by working left to right, top to bottom, whether that's cleaning, decluttering, organizing, anything like that. So as I'm making my way through my kitchen, I am finishing up this last corner of the counter, and then I'm going to be able to address this fridge. So this is one of the main areas I really wanted to focus on today because we were sharing our space with her, of course. That was starting to make it a little bit difficult for us because of the limited amount of space that we had. So I was really looking forward to this part of the cleaning, being able to give my fridge a good thorough cleaning and reorganizing everything and just getting everything back in order. And while I work on that, let's go ahead and address those things that I did learn and benefit from while my friend was living with us. The first being a new level of trusting God. So just to be completely transparent with you, I am very introverted, but I also grew up as an only child. So I have spent a lot of my life alone. I mean, growing up as an only child, staying off and on with my grandmother, I really was just in my room by myself, listening to music, singing along to the music. I was pretty much alone a lot of my upbringing. And now as an adult and a homemaker without children, I again spend a lot of time alone. So I think just naturally being around people for me is exhausting. So when the thought came of having someone around all the time, my flesh definitely was opposed to it, but I knew that it was something that I needed to do, and it was really something that God was asking of me. So it wasn't an easy decision, but it was one that I knew I needed to do, but also one I wanted to do because I saw it as a way to show my love for God and not just, talk about it. And I'm really trying not to share too many details for the sake of my friend, but this was definitely an instance where I needed to give her a deadline. But before the decision was made and I was still praying about it, I did have a certain amount of time in mind, but God very quickly told me how long I was to give her in order for her to find a new place. And in all honesty, that did make me a little nervous, but I decided to trust him and to know that he will not ask of us more than we are able to give. He knows the future, he's in the future, and he knows me inside and out. So he knows what I was going to be able to endure. And I'm so happy that I did this because I was able to experience a new level of trust that I hadn't before. And it turns out that she actually found a place to stay right at the end of that deadline. And there were a couple of times, as the deadline was approaching and things kept falling through for her, that I was getting nervous, like, oh Lord, I don't know, this is getting really hard for me. I'm not sure how much more I'm going to be able to really handle just because of circumstances and things that we have going on. But while I was having those thoughts, something just came over me and I just stopped myself from thinking those thoughts and reassured myself that God told me this amount of time and I'm going to keep believing that it's going to be in this amount of time. So as I continue to pray for her and just keep trusting God, sure enough, she was able to get a really nice place that was also a blessing to her in different areas of her life. So no matter what you're going through today, no matter what you're facing, you can trust God with everything. And if there's something that he's asking of you, you can be assured that it's not going to be more than you can handle. And not only that, but there will be a blessing in it for you as well. So it is now the next day, and the next area that I really wanted to focus on was my bedroom and master bath. Because I had been so busy with house projects and editing, filming, things like that, I definitely got a little bit behind on my weekly cleaning. So I wanted to go ahead and get this day started by putting my bedding in the wash so then I can go ahead and focus on the rest of the areas in my bedroom. I am definitely a person that likes to do one load a day. Given that there's just two of us, you kind of, you can easily ask yourself how much laundry do you really have? But that does also include our bedding and towels. So I basically am able to do one load a day and cover all these different areas. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but we did move this recliner into our room just so that we could have a little extra privacy while my friend was staying with us, just to, give us that option to have some alone time whenever we needed it. And luckily for me, it does break down into two different pieces so that I was able to move it really easily back into the living room. Now it's time to move on to the sink area and our master bath. Our home actually comes with two full bathrooms, and I normally actually use the guest bathroom for myself. I get ready in there, I shower in there, and then my husband is able to have all of this space to himself. But of course, with my friend living with us, I am absolutely going to let her have that space so she doesn't have to worry about, constantly moving her stuff around, bringing it in and out and what have you. But now that she's in her own place, I get to have my bathroom back, which I am also very excited about, because to be honest, the sink area in our master bedroom bathroom is not very big, and just for two people, I find it really hard to make it work. And while I'm cleaning my bathroom, I thought this would be a good opportunity to go ahead and share with you the second thing that I took away from my time with my friend living with us, which is the value of community. I mentioned earlier that I have spent a lot of my life alone, and I've actually learned to be very comfortable there. I'm not sure how much of a good thing that is. I'm not saying that being introverted is bad, but I do think that isolation is bad. And I do believe that God, designed us to need one another and to operate the best when we're involved in each other's lives. So after all, he calls us his body. We are the body of Christ. So we're meant to really be together. And that's not to say that we need to be together all the time, but the Bible does say that we should be gathering together, to build each other up and encourage one another, and even more so as we see that day approaching. And having my friend around so much, having someone else around so much, I actually kind of started to enjoy it in a way. Like, I just realized how much I am missing by not allowing others in and by being so private. But at the same time, I don't feel like I'm quite ready to just let everyone in and just suddenly become some extroverted, social butterfly. But I definitely want to be more involved in others' lives. It's absolutely going to be a process for me, but it is one that I do want to pursue. It is something that I want to do. I want to be more involved in the lives of those around me, my church family, my natural family, things like that. So by having someone live with me, it kind of opened my eyes to how almost isolated I am, or at least I can be. And it also planted a seed in me, like it gave me a little bit of a desire to be more social, which is something I did not think was going to happen. And I know that's all going to come in time and with the Lord's help. So that's something I am actually looking forward to in the future. So now it's time for the pantry update that I promised you guys. And by the way, if you haven't seen my pantry video, I will go ahead and link it up here at the top for you, just in case you haven't seen it yet. But when I redid my pantry, I did have quite a bit of rice and beans to figure out how to store a little bit better. And what I tried in that video was to basically portion it out and vacuum seal it all. But some of the grains of rice actually punctured the vacuum seal bags, which I kind of thought was going to be an issue, but I figured it was worth a shot because larger storage containers, airtight specifically storage containers, are very expensive, and I was going to need at least 2. So I felt like I wanted to give it a try just because it was a cheaper option. But as you can tell now, it didn't really work out. However, I was at Winco the other day and I did see that they have food grade 5-gallon buckets with lids that have a gasket on it to give it a proper seal. And for the bucket and the lid together, it's between $10 to $12, which is much cheaper than anything else I found online or in any store. So I went ahead and picked those up and transferred everything over. In that same video, someone also did leave me a comment just letting me know that it's really not the best idea to store cleaning products along with food. So, which is what I did originally have here where the soda and the water is. So to the person that commented and brought that to my attention, I want to say thank you so much for the advice. I gladly received it, and I actually moved all my cleaning products out to the garage. And just to let you guys know, I will be doing a little more work in my garage in my next video, so make sure to stay tuned for that and subscribe if you're not already so you don't miss out on the journey as well. But now it's time for the moment that I have personally been really looking forward to and waiting for, which is getting to reclaim my office. So like I've mentioned before, my office is the room that my friend was staying in, and although I was very happy to be able to help her in her time of need, I definitely missed having my office to work in. And I am so thankful that I'm in a position to be able to help others. In all that I've shared with you today, I really don't want to seem ungrateful. So I do recognize how fortunate I am to have what I have, but it just feels so good to be able to have your own space again. And not only when it comes to the work that I need to get done online, but also my clothes. So the closet that we have in our master bedroom is fairly small, and it pretty much just fits my husband's stuff. So what I do is I put all of my clothes in my office, which works really well for us. So when my friend moved in, I then needed to move not only my desk and all of my office supplies into the spare bedroom, but also my clothes. But the way that that closet is set up is really inconvenient, to say the least. Like it made it really hard to be able to access all of my clothes just because of the way it's set up. So now that I have my office back, I have my closet back, I have my bathroom back, and it just feels so good not only to have my space back, but to know that I was obedient to the call of God for this season. And I'm very thankful that He trusted me enough to do the right thing. Now that I've gotten just about everything on my list taken care of, there was still one more thing that I needed to tackle, and that was my floors. To me, cleaning the floors is always the cherry on top whenever you have a couple days of cleaning or just a full day of cleaning. There's just something about it. When you get your floors clean, you get all that dust picked up, maybe even the pet hair picked up like you see me having here. It takes your cleaning to a whole nother level. But with all that being said, I want to thank you guys for spending time with me today. I hope you found plenty of inspiration and motivation to maybe get some cleaning done around your house, or maybe a couple of tasks that you've been putting off. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.